Welcome, all my beautiful friends. Thank you for joining me again today. It is November and fall is officially here. The air is crisp, the fall, the leaves, the colors, it's all so beautiful. And with fall comes gratitude. And I am so grateful for you, and I am grateful for this practice of yoga. And I'm grateful for today, where we're going to be playing with handstands. They're one of my favorite poses. I hope you're ready to play and find a way out of fear in a place of joy. We're going to start with our fingers, and I like to do this movement where we take our knuckles and we curl the knuckles down and squeeze. And then after that, we shoot the fingers forward from the base knuckle, and then we bring the fingers down to the palm and squeeze again. And then open, and we're gonna do that a few times. Open, curl all the way down, shoot from the base knuckle and squeeze. Yeah, do that 3 more times. And we're moving slowly and controlled. And with each movement, we're trying to find the most expansiveness or contraction, depending on how we're moving. So you see when I open, I open. When I curl, I really am squeezing down with my fingers and shooting forward and then finally pressing. And then shake that out. A little finger flicks as though you have water on your hands. Because I'm doing this no paper towel thing, where I don't actually use paper towels anymore. I am trying to save a few trees, and this is my way. My hands are gonna dry, right? So instead of using paper towels, I let my hands air dry, and I do a little bit of this. Oh, the mailman's here. All right, so the fingers are nice and warmed up a little bit. Let's get to our wrist. And so for the wrist, we're gonna come to tabletop position, and we're gonna flip our palms. So our fingertips are pointing towards the knees, and you might have to do one hand at a time if it feels too extreme in your body. And then simply begin to lean your weight back. And do your best to keep the entire palm of your hand down to the ground. I know it's easy to lift off at the bottom, but it's more important to keep the palm down so we can feel a deep stretch along the inside of the forearm. And we want to be here for a few breaths. Notice how your breathing is. Is it slow and calm, or is it a little shaky? Maybe you have some fear in there. Where are we going? Handstand is kind of scary. What if I fall on my face? These are normal fears. We're gonna step up though, don't worry. We're not gonna go straight to jumping up. And then after you're done with the inner forearm, we're gonna do the outer forearm stretch. So for this one, we bring our hands into fists, come all the way down as though we're crouching low. And then squeezing your hands really tight together. Push the tops of the hands down into your mat while you begin to lengthen the arms and straighten the elbows as much as you can. Now you might not have your arms as straight as me, that's okay. The more we practice, the more space we create within our body. Because if we don't use the flexibility that we have, we lose it, right? You don't use it, you lose it. Exhale, come back down, take a breath, relax everything. Let's do that one more time. Squeeze and push. It feels so lovely. I love this one. You might be like, what? This is not lovely. And then exhale, release, shake it out. So you'll notice when I do my handstands, I do a lot of rolls of the wrists, a lot of shakes, because I'm putting all this weight on this tiny little area. And so I want to take extra care of it. Okay, shoulder time. Now, if you don't have a strap handy, you don't need a strap. You can always find a towel, something that's long that you can just hold on to. What we're gonna do is we're gonna bring our arms up overhead. And then exhale, bring them back behind us. And then keep moving like that. And you might notice that your hands are a little too close together. Maybe your towel or strap is too tiny. Bring your arms out a little wider. We don't want to be in pain here. We want to feel movement and space in a safe and controlled way. And so right here for me feels really nice, so I'm gonna take a few more breaths right here. And exhale, coming back to center, towards the front of the mat. Moving your strap out of the way. And we're still not done with our shoulders. We're gonna stand up. So this is where we find our friend the wall. We just wanna step about 1.5 feet or so away from the wall, and then bringing your hands up, sticking your butt out, begin to draw the chest down. Maybe your forehead pushes into the wall. And take deep, slow breaths here. So we're working to find more space right underneath the armpits, so you might need to walk your hands up a little bit higher. If you can't feel anything, keep pushing the forearms down, chest forward and up. And you can keep your forehead down to the wall, or maybe gaze up towards your fingers. And breathe here. Reaching your arms up wide, leaning to the right, leaning to the left. All right, downward facing dog. And so if this is your first downward facing dog, maybe draw the right knee in while bringing the left heel a little closer to the ground. And then switching sides, walking our dog out. And feel free to do this several times. Ensuring that your hips are always pulling up and away from the hands. And if you're still cycling the legs, slowly begin to slow down that movement until coming into your version of a still and centered downward facing dog. And don't worry if your heels don't touch the ground. It doesn't matter. We all have different anatomy, different flexibility. Your heels may never touch the ground. I know some yogis who have been practicing forever and they still struggle with that. So let it go. It's not a big deal. One more breath. Exhale, lowering down to your knees and coming all the way down to your back. So before we even jump into handstand, which we're almost at, we have to practice some core work. Because if our core is not engaged, then we're going to have this separation between our legs, which in our upside down world, our legs are going to be our arms. And we want to have a very strong core to hold up the legs. Because you can see if I don't have this connection in the middle of my trunk, what's going to happen? I'm going to wobble all over the place. And I don't want to wobble. I mean, I'm gonna, but I don't want to. So let's come into boat. Navasana, leaning ourselves back on our sit bones. And then maybe kicking the feet up so they're in the same line as the knees, or perhaps a little bit higher. And on your inhale, coming down halfway into hollow boat. Carving out the belly here. And holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, I'm shaking. 1, inhale, coming back up into your boat. Woo! Take a breath here. This time we're going to draw the right knee into the chest while coming down into hollow boat. And breathe here for 5, 4. If you'd like, reach your arms up towards the ceiling or even overhead to make this pose a little more challenging. 1 more breath. Exhale, shooting yourself back up, boat pose. All right, other side. Finding your way down, left knee draws into chest, and you choose where your hands go, whether they're reaching for the toes, up above, or behind you. But make sure your head and shoulders are still lifted off the ground for 2. Can you draw the knee into the chest a little bit more? Ooh. Exhale, release. Take a few breaths here. Oh man, how's that feeling? A little more alive? Hope so. All right, handstand time. How can we play with handstand in a safe way? Well, to see if we're strong enough, I like to do handstand walks. So we're gonna come to plank against the wall, and your feet are just gonna push right up into the wall, and we're gonna hold plank here. Now, the trick is to walk your feet up about 1.5 feet or 2 feet, And you're still coming into that plank-like shape. So you can see my butt's not sticking up any higher. I'm still trying to make one straight board. And with that, maybe I can start to walk my hands in a little bit. Still finding that board-like shape. And I walked in about another foot or so here. And then I'm going to have enough energy where I can walk myself back down to plank. And then come into child's pose with my arms down by my side. And those are called handstand walk-ups. So we're going to work through a few of those. You might not go very far. You might just stay here. Or you might start to walk your hands in and go a little closer and a little closer. And then once you get there, hold for one breath and then slowly walk yourself back out. So you can see, I don't get here immediately. I took my time. It took me months before I could really walk myself super close to the wall, child's pose. Okay. So that's one drill for handstand. And you can start to build your strength from there. Whew, see, I'm already getting winded out. Another choice that we can do is we bring our feet to the wall, facing the wall. And then we look at our hands where our hips are. So I'm gonna go right behind my hips, not in front, but behind. So then I know that if I'm gonna turn around and face the wall, that I have this nice distance between the wall and my body, where I can stack myself into handstand pose. Pushing my right foot into the ground to lift the left leg, and then kick my feet both into the wall to form an L-like shape. And you want to actually breathe here as long as you can. And instead of doing a banana back here, a little back bend, we really want to focus on drawing the belly button in to the spine. The rib cage draws in and up. Clawing the ground with the fingertips. And then exhale. Once again, child's pose. Find your breath, relax the body. Let go of any tension that you're still holding on to. One more breath. Slow and deep. All right, coming back up. Let's do a few wrist circles and shake it out. So for you, those handstand walk-ups and that L shape against the wall might be like, okay girl, I'm good. And if that is the case, do that part again. Otherwise, maybe you're ready and you're not so scared because you're feeling strong that you're ready to kick up into the wall. So if that's the case, find yourself right in front of the wall. And I like to be about a foot or so away from the wall. Coming back into your downward facing dog. Walk your feet in about 1 footprint and then lift the left leg up high. Leaning your weight forward, heel over toes. Exhale, down. Maybe you do that again, but kick up a little bit and then back down. Maybe you do that again and kick up a little bit harder. Oh, and then your left foot might find the wall. If your foot finds the wall, draw that right knee into the chest. Keep drawing the right knee to the chest and maybe the left foot comes off the wall. Maybe it stays. And eventually you come back down. And then we switch sides. This time left foot comes in, lift that heel, exhale lower. So what I'm working on here is when I lift the heel, I'm weighting all this weight into my fingertips. Exhale down. This time I'm going to do a little jump. All right. Exhale. One more. I'm going to kick a little harder to find the wall. Ooh, kicked a little too hard there. That's okay. Left knee draws into chest. And I hold until eventually my arms are tired and I come down for another child's pose. Hi, baby boy. Hi. You want to do child's pose with us? Okay, handstand in 5 poses or less, where we were able to work on our flexibility and our strength. I hope you had fun. I sure did. Namaste. Come here, little bug. You want to do handstand? You want to do handstand?